Hi guys! So here is another DIY inspired by Instagram. I saw several accounts posting these cupcake slimes and decided to try it for myself. To get started, you'll need some white PVA glue. This is much easier to find than clear PVA glue, and you can save some money by getting a huge bottle like this from art or hardware shops. Then you'll need some foaming soap, baking soda, and contact lens solution. For the cupcake part, you'll need some food coloring, vanilla essence, and cake sprinkles. First, I poured about 400 grams or 14 ounces of glue into a bowl. Then I added about 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Since I'm using the same size bowl as my Slime Mountain video, I know that I can use a bit less than 1 packet of baking soda. And by the way, I will be filming a follow-up on the rainbow slime so you can see how it looks 3 weeks later. Next, add some face foam or shaving foam into the glue. This makes the slime fluffier and increases the total volume so you have more to play with. Then fold the foam into the glue until it looks like beaten egg whites. The bowl I used was a bit too small, so I had to be careful when mixing, but this was extremely fun and relaxing to do. Please remember that even though this slime looks like food, it's obviously not edible, so be sure to keep it away from young children or pets. You can transfer half the glue into another bowl depending on how many colors you want to make. I'm using yellow food coloring to create a cake batter effect. Then add some vanilla essence or vanilla perfume to make it smell like real cake. And lastly, add some contact lens solution or eye drops, which will start turning the mixture into slime. Of course, you can also use borax solution here. If you decide to use pure borax dissolved in water, then you can skip the baking soda in the first step. White glue tends to be thicker than clear glue, so it clumps together quite quickly. You can soften the mixture by adding more soap and then using your hand to work it in. Eventually, the mixture won't stick to your skin and it should look something like this. If you added too much contact lens liquid or borax solution, then the slime will thicken so it starts to rip instead of being stretchy. However, I actually like this effect a lot for this DIY because it looks like a surprisingly realistic cake texture. This is literally a cake slime that doesn't stick to your hands. If you pull it slowly, then it will still stretch out like putty. Now grab a small airtight container and place your slime inside. Add some extra slime to the top and shape it to look like a cupcake. Then you can simply repeat the process with a different color. I made a pink slime here using red food coloring, foaming soap, followed by a few drops of vanilla essence. I think strawberry essence or perfume would also work quite well for this one. I know some slime DIYs tell you to mix with a spoon until the very end, but I actually love using my hands for the final part. Since slime is supposed to be played with, you can extend the fun of playing with it by going in with your hands earlier. If done correctly, you only need to wash your hands once before the slime comes together like this. Then add the slime to a small container and mold into a cupcake shape just like we did earlier. Making the frosting was trickier than I thought. In the clips I saw on Instagram, the frosting was simply made with soap foam, but that was a total fail when I tried it. The soap basically turned to liquid right away and there was no way it could hold any sprinkles. And then I tried using shaving foam, which is thicker, but that also started spreading out far too quickly. So in the end, I just decided to make a white slime to use as the frosting. This one doesn't need to be made perfectly at all, since we're only using a small amount and it gets mixed into the cake slime. I simply eyeballed the ingredients and mixed some glue, soap, and baking soda together. Then I stirred it until it reached the beaten egg white stage that we had earlier. For the frosting, it's important to add just a tiny bit of contact lens liquid so the mixture doesn't become too thick. Now you can either spoon this onto the cupcake or you can use a piping bag. I took a small plastic bag and cut one corner off. Then I filled it up with frosting slime using a spoon and simply piped the cream onto the cupcake. This part is so much fun, and even though it does flatten out after a while, it holds up a lot better than soap or shaving foam. And lastly, just add some real cake sprinkles on top. It's best to use small sprinkles which are light enough to stay on the cream. And now your adorable cupcake slime is done. So the question is, what do you actually do with this slime? The clips I saw on Instagram push the cake inside the cream, which is quite fun to do. Don't worry about mixing the sprinkles inside since there's not a lot and they'll get hidden by the slime anyway. You can also stretch the cupcake out like on the thumbnail picture from this video. The best part of this DIY is that you can reuse the slime several times. It actually gets more solid over time, so it becomes easier to create the cupcake shape. You can place it back into the container, add more cream and sprinkles, then once you're finished playing with it, you can simply replace the lid and keep it for later. Hope you enjoyed this DIY and have fun making your slimes. Please follow me on Snapchat and Instagram under the name Macaroon. I often post previews of upcoming tutorials and behind the scenes shots so you can always see what's going on between my video uploads on YouTube. Macaroon is the name of my other DIY YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!